The Bradford City and Bolton Wanderers trains keeps on moving as they edge ever closer to, of course, those illustrious playoffs. And what about Morecambe? They're getting edge closer to those automatic spots. It's all going off out of 82, and we're going to take a look at your picks and mine next. Prediction today. We'll take a look at our match day number 32, maybe out of League 2, and we'll get to that in just one second. If you're new to the channel, stop what you're doing, swallow what you're doing, and smash the old subscribe. Keep you bang up to date with all things Blackburn Rovers League 2. Whoa, football, here we go here. Under Roverseas, of course, there is no rest for the wicked. We're going to try and get through these quick and bloody fast. So if you can't keep up the heat, don't put in your picks, of course. But we'll talk all about that in a minute. Of course, big shout out to the Patreons. You know who you are. The VIP band of brothers. We're actually up to 25 right now as we try to get to closer to 30. I do appreciate any additional support. If you are interested, check out that link down below, patreon.com/Roverseas. But anyway, here we go. Take a look back at, of course, my picks, then your picks. And, of course, kicking on further to the next match day. Here we go. Kicking all back, of course, the games did take place on Tuesday, the 23rd of Feb. With a couple of games on the Wednesday. Morecambe got themselves, goodness gracious me, what a comeback this was. Brandon Thomas Asante on the score sheet for Salford, giving them the win around about 45-minute mark. Then it looked like their 3 points to keep. But up stepped Carlos Mendes Gomez in the 94th minute. Not only just to equalise, he got the equaliser, but of course on the 96th minute, Aaron Wilder get the winner for Morecambe as they push ever closer to, of course, those top 3 spots. Meanwhile, of course, Bradford City keep their train moving with a 1-0 win. New managers, joint managers, co-managers coming in there for Bradford. Cam Cook with a goal in the 81st minute to give Bradford another win. Of course, they're good to have they've got the winning thing at the moment. I got 2-0 win for myself, so yeah, not too shabby start for me. Of course, Cambridge kept on winning as well, or did they? I think it was Cheltenham got the win here, 1-0 win. Cambridge suffered a defeat. Sean Long on the score sheet for Cheltenham on this one to get the win. Carlisle, what's gone wrong with them? Their season is slowly but surely falling off the face of a cliff. Carlisle 2, Tranmere 3. Goodness gracious me, I got a draw on this one. James Wall with the brace, Kane Woolley as well for the score sheet for Tranmere. Joshua Coyote and Nick Anderton on the score sheet for Carlisle, but again, too little, too late. Colchester against Exeter, they've also falling off the face of the cliff as well. 2-1 winners for Exeter, who are looking very, very good. Probably another team to stop right now. Goal scorers for Exeter. World Robert Wilmot, Ben Seymour as well. Armante Ote on the score sheet for Colchester, again, not good enough, not quick enough. Goals and points going to Exeter. Of course, Grimsby got themselves a win with a 2-1 win, keeps them in the hunt. Of course, Crawley with a defeat there. Jack Powell on the score sheet for them. Philip Maurice, Joe Adams on the score sheet for Grimsby. Joe Banny, of course, get himself sent off for Grimsby. Harrogate got a win as well. 1-0 winners over Mansfield Town. Again, their season is just, it was terrible, then it turned around, but now it's gone terrible again. Aaron Martin on the score sheet though for Harrogate give themselves a monster win. I went with the 2-1 win for Mansfield. Shame on me. Oldham lost as well to Barrow. All the teams down there, they're struggling at the foot of the table. Got big fat W's, of course. Scott Quigley with a late winner on there in the 89th minute. Give Barrow a win. Actually went with the 1-0 win for Oldham. Port Vale and Stevenage, they could not be separated. It was a draw, I believe. 0-0, nothing to report there. Actually went with the 1-1, not too shabby. Bolton, big winners again. 2-0 win for them. Ian Doyle was on the score sheet, I believe. From the post, Anthony Stavicic as well, giving Bolton the W. Scunthorpe, not good enough. Got that one bang on the nose. Into Wednesday's, Walsall lost to Newport. County got their first a win. Of course, they were flying high at the top of the table, but of course had a bit of a really bad spell. They're back into the thick of things right now. A 1-0 win there. Got a draw on this one. Of course, then Vegans, they got beaten by bloody bottom of the table Southend. Got some T-bone steaks down. Your Sean Hobson, Timothy Deng, Nathan Ferguson with a Bobby Dazzler. Jamie Malt got a late goal there for Forest Green Rose. Not good enough. 2-1 for me. Shame on me. Got 5 picks out of 12. Not good enough. Not good enough indeed. The table looks like this at the moment. Cambridge is still in leading at the moment by 1 point over Forest Green Rovers. Then Vegans, of course. They've got a couple of games in hand. Cheltenham are into third. 1 point clear of course, Morecambe, who have played 30 games so far. And, of course, within touching distance of going top of the pops. Tranmere not too far away. Either Newport County and Exeter are in the playoffs. Salford, Bolton and Carlisle, of course, within touching distance as well. Bradford closing in on it as well. Of course, Carlisle got games in hand. Games to spare. Hopefully they can turn their season around. Let's kick it on then. Take a look at how you got on then, shall we? Not to fall you in the shit face go. In fact, let's back it up a minute. Grimsby going down. Barrow not too far away either. But again, it is big wins for the likes of Grimsby, Barrow, Southend. Stevenage got himself a point, I think, as well. So they're moving the bloody chains. Of course, let's take a look at, of course, how you got on. Not to 4 in the Shitface Gang. 5-9, like me, you're in the Shitface Club. 10 plus, you're bloody fantastic. Let's have a look at it then, shall we? Of course. Okay, didn't do okay. Ollie Hambling didn't do good as well. Joe Meagle, shite, mate. Leeds 2021, well done to you, of course. Tom Stainer, fabulous, brother, of course. James BCFC are great. You are great. Omar Esquivel, not too shabby. Well done indeed. Alex Weller did bits. He had bits of poop indeed. Russell Foss, well done, of course. Kicking ass, taking names. Ultra Omar Muir, absolutely fabulous. Well done, of course. Shepherd had a nightmare, of course. And Zappy Crook did bits. Meanwhile, Yannick Buster did shite. The D-Man also did poop. But it's okay. We still love you. Of course, Cody Cole, absolutely shit show as well. Gaming Charlie did great. Fortnite Player did poop, mate. Olaji Ojo, well done to you, of course. Joachim Yakovin also had a nightmare. Fede 77 did poop. Irish Trigger did shocking. And Nathan Heaver had a nightmare down under. Of course, let's take a look at the table as it stands. There you go. Take a bloody look at it. Suck it all in. Of course, we have multiple winners here. Of course, Leeds 2021, Zappy Crook, Omar Esquivel, Ultra Omar, and Russell Frost are your kings. They are wearing the crown right here, right now. And there's comes automatically out of nowhere the leaderboard for League 2, of course. And then Russell Frost still leads the charge. Can we do that again? No, it's just going to throw it at you, just like right here, right now. So Russell Frost is your king. Big Jokovic is in his second. Omar Esquivel is third. And Yannick Buster is fourth with Gaming Charlie in fifth. It is tight. It is much tighter than you think. But of course, it could all change as we gear up for the next round of matches. Are you ready? I'm bloody ready. Let me just squeeze this. Oh, whoa, whoa, wait, whoa, whoa, okay, let's get into it. Of course, take a look at the next round of matches kicking off this weekend. Of course, no rest for the wicked. Get your picks in nice and early. Kicking off with Crawley up against Exeter City, of course, where the goals are so pretty. They play each other, in fact, last 6 he's 1 for Crawley, 2 for Exeter, 3 draws last round. In Crawley was a 1-win for Exeter back in November 2019. The goal scorer was Dean Moxley on score sheet, giving Exeter the W. They did play each other this season out in Exeter. It was a 2-1 win for Exeter back in October. Of course, 2-1 winners there as well. You're going to go all the way back to, I don't know when. When was it? Crawley last one back in 2019, of course. So 2-1 win to this season in Exeter back in, of course, October. Heading into this badger, of course, we got 4 games without a defeat for Exeter, winning 3 and drawing 1. Meanwhile, just 1 win the past 6 games for Crawley. That was against Colchester a couple of games back. Meanwhile, look at the bookies odds. Let's have a look at the bookies odds then, shall we? Of course, coming at you, of course, Exeter will be your stone cold favourites. They are 6-5 for the victory, 23-10 is your hosts. Of course, 12-5 is your draw. Exeter are in 7th, I believe, at the moment. With them, they could go as high as 4th. Crawley were doing well about 3 weeks ago or something like that, but they're now down to 14th. But a win for them, they could go as high as 11th in the table. Got a win for Exeter on this one with a 2-0 win to take the points in the bag and move the bloody chains. And the Battle of the Bees, of course, it's Bolton up against Barrow. Of course, big win both of the two sides this past week. Of course, played just the 3 times in the past. No wins for Bolton, 1 for Barrow, and 2 draws last round. Of course, it was in Barrow back in October this season. So 3-3 draw. Chris Taylor, extra over on the score sheet. Michael Jones, Dean Angus as well. Peter Kioso, Yandor, and Antti Sadachevich on the score sheet as well for Bolton, and a 3-3 draw. Heading into the Bolton winning 5 of the past 6 games. The only hiccup was a draw against Morecambe. Meanwhile, 2 wins of the past 6 games for Barrow, but it's really been 1 win in 5, and that 1 win was against Oldham. It was a big win as well for Barrow to get themselves moving the chains. Of course, heading into this 5-4 on is your Bolton. They are turning the corner at long last. 5-2 is draw. 7-2 is your bloody Barrow. Barrow coming out and in 23rd, but a win for them. They could go 22nd. Bolton are 9th, but a win for them. They could go 6th. Not 7th, but 6th. Bolton will get this one as well with a 1-0 win. Put the points in the bag. Move the chains, lads. Move the chains. Let's go. Carlisle up against Oldham. Of course, played the last 6-3 for Carlisle, 1 for Oldham, 2 draws last time around in Carlisle. Was in fact a 1-0 win back 2019 in September, of course. Back in the day, the goal scorer there was, let me think about it, Ofula Ululumala on the score sheet. Did play each other this season out of the Boundary Park. Of course, it was a 1-1 draw back in October. Zachary Durley scored, and of course Aaron Helden as well on score sheet for Carlisle. Heading into this though, just 1 win the past 5 games for Oldham. That was against Salford City. Of course, Carlisle without a win in 4, losing 3 out of that 4 as well. Draw is the only one. Bit of positive there. 5-4 on though is your Carlisle for the victory. 30-5 is your draw. 10-3 is your Oldham. Of course, Carlisle down to 10th at the moment, and with them they could go 7th. Of course, Oldham down to 17th right now, and with them they could go as high as 14th. I want Carlisle to do well. I've got them winning this one with a 2-1 win to take the points. Move the chains. Walsall up against Bradford. Let's take a look at this then, shall we? Of course, 1 win for Walsall, 2 for Bradford. 3 draws, of course, last round in Walsall was in fact a 1-0 win for Bradford back in September 2019. Of course, the one and only goal scorer that day was Liam Kinsella with a big fat OG. They did play each other this season at Vale Parade. So up here, lads, with a 1-1 draw in the end. Goal scorer on that day, I'll tell you who it was. in just a ticket. It was, of course, Billy Clark from the penalty spot for Bradford, George Nurse. Getting into this Badger, of course, what do we have on this one, of course? Bradford winning 5 of the past 6 games. The only hiccup was a defeat to Exeter. Meanwhile, just 1 win the past 6 games for Walsall. That was against Port Bloody Vale. Look at the bookies' odds on this one, of course. Bradford will probably be your favourites. Of course, Walsall coming at you on this one. 50 to 8 for the victory, 64 is your Bradford, 11 to 5 is your draw. Bradford coming at you out in 11th. Win for them, they could go 10th. Of course, Walsall down in 15th at the moment, but a win for them. They could actually leapfrog Bradford all the way up to 11th in the table. I've gone on this one with the 1-0 win for Bradford. Keep moving, keep on moving, keep believing. Maybe you can get into that playoff discussion. Next, of course, for Harrogate, taking on, of course, Grimsby, of course. Heading into this one, played the last 3, 1 for Harrogate, 2 for Grimsby, no draws. Last round in Harrogate was in the FA Cup back in 2015. It's a 4-1 win for Grimsby back in the day. Of course, the pleasure of this season out in Grimsby was a 2-1 win for Harrogate as well back in October. Of course, goal scorers on that day was Jack Muldoon with the brace, James Tilley as well for Grimsby. Heading into this, though, just 1 win the past 6 games for Grimsby. That was against Crawley just the other day. Meanwhile, 4 wins the past 6 games for Harrogate. They're looking very, very good at the moment. The only hiccups was a defeat to Cheltenham and, of course, a defeat to Scunthorpe a couple of games back. Look at the bookies' odds on this one then, shall we? Probably Harrogate would be your favourites on this one. The bookies coming at you, of course, 6-5 on for Harrogate, 7 to 2 is your Grimsby, 12 to 5 is your draw. Of course, Grimsby are down into 24th, but a win for them, they could go 22nd. As for Harrogate, they're down into 13th for the moment, but a win for them, they could go as high as 11th in the table. Of course, that was all Grimsby at the start of the season, but guess what? Not anymore. 2-1 win for Harrogate to take the points. Later on, up against Tranmere, this was a fruity one, of course. At the start of the season, I'd say this was a promotion fight decided, of course. Played to the last 6, 4 wins for Leyton, Orient, 1 for Tranmere, 1 draw, of course, last time around. Brisbane Barrow was in the National League Premier League, of course, back in February 2018. It was a 1-1 draw, of course. February was down home and on score sheet. Richie Sutton with the equaliser for Tranmere. I mean, well, they played this season at Tranmere. I don't know the name of the stadium. If I always forget about it. It's Donny Johnson on the score sheet, of course, last time around. In favour of Leyton Orient. Heading into this, just 1 defeat the past 6 for Tranmere. That was against Stevenage. Meanwhile, 4 games, the last 4 games, just 1 defeat for Leyton Orient. The rest, though, have been draw. Excuse me. Look at the bookies' odds on this one, shall we? 7 to 4 for Leyton Orient, 11 to 5 is your draw. 8 to 5 is your Tranmere coming at you. And in 5th for the win for them, they could go up to 2nd in the table. Of course, Leyton Orient are in 12th for the win for them. They could go as high as 11th in the table on this one. Smells like a draw. This one 2-2 in the end. Goals galore in it, though. Plenty to scream and shout about. Next of all, the Battle of the M's. Of course, Mansfield Town up against Morecambe. Of course, flying high. Played to the last 6-2. So Mansfield 1 for Morecambe and 3 draws. Manager of the season, Derek Adams, right here, right now. Of course, played last time around in Mansfield was a 2-2 draw in the League Cup. And of course, Morecambe came out on top on pens. Last time I played in the league was also a 2-2 draw over in Mansfield as well. In fact, the last 4 games between the two sides have all ended in draws. Heading into this, though, of course, Mansfield just without a win in 5, actually losing 3 on the spin. As for Morecambe, just 1 defeat in the past 5. Of course, it was against Bradford, but it's been back-to-back wins, beating Barrow, beating Salford as well. Kudos to those guys. Look at to this one, 23 to 20 for Mansfield, 23 to 10 is your Morecambe, and of course, 12 to 5 is the draw. Mansfield coming at you out in 19th right now, but a win for them, they could go as high as 15th. Of course, Morecambe in 4th, a win for them, they could go top of the pops. Oh yeah, top of the pops with a big fat W and everything else going their way. Going with the win. Back in the Morecambe. Yes, I am. Newport County up against Stevenage. Of course, played for the last 6 2 wins apiece and 2 draws last time around in Newport, down in Wales. Of course, it was a 1-1 draw back in December 2019. Goal scorers on that day. If I can remember it, what happened back in those days? It was, of course, Jimmy Matt on the score sheet, Emmanuel Spudderman on score sheet for Stevenage. Did play that this season out in Stevenage, of course, back in October. It was a 1-0 win for Newport as well. That goal scorer on that day. I don't know. I think it was actually beggars bloody belief. It was Tristan Abrahams from the penalty spot. Of course, heading into this, just 1 defeat the past 6 games for Stevenage. That was against Bolton. Meanwhile, just 1 win the past 4 games for Newport County. That was, of course, against Walsall just the other day. Look at the bookies' odds on this one. What do we have at the bookies' odds on this one? Of course, 11 to 10 for Newport County. 11 to 4 is your Stevenage. 23 to 10 is the draw. Of course, Stevenage coming at you out in, of course, in 20th. A win for them. They could go as high as 15th. Newport County are in 6th, but a win for them. They could go back into the automatics. That'll be 3rd in the table. Newport County will win this one to make it back-to-back wins. Port Vale up against Cambridge, of course, flying bloody high at the top of the table. Of course, played the last 6, 3 for Port Vale, 3 for Cambridge, no draws. Last round in Port Vale was a 1-0 win for Port Vale back in August 2019, and they also played this season out in Cambridge as a 3-1 win for Cambridge. Of course, Brada, goal scores, Paul Mullin, a hat-trick on the score sheet. Of course, Theo Robinson with a goal for Port Vale, but not good enough. Of course, heading into just 1 win in the past 6 games for Port Vale against Southend. Just 1 win in the past 4 games for Cambridge. Of course, That was against Mansfield a couple of games back. Look at the bookies odds on this badger then, shall we? Of course, Port Vale 13-8 for the victory, 7-4 is your away win. That's Cambridge, 11-5 is the draw. Port Vale are down into 18th. At the moment with them, they could go 15th. Cambridge are top, and with them, they'll be top of the table no matter what, brother. Of course, I'm going with a 3-1 for Cambridge. Port Vale, you're shit. I had your tip to go up this year, but not anymore. Of course, next, of course, Scunthorpe United, and of course, Cheltenham Town. Of course, played the last 6-4 for Scunthorpe, 2 for Cheltenham, no draws. Last round in Scunthorpe, of course, 1-0 win back in February 2020. Goodness gracious me. Of course, they did also play this season. That was a 1-0 win for Cheltenham, of course, back in the day then. Heading into this, of course, just one defeat to the past 5 games for Scunthorpe. The rest have been wins, winning 4 of the past 5 games. Of course, Cheltenham coming to this, just one defeat in the past 6 games. The rest have been 4 wins and a draw to boot. Of course, look at his odds on this one then, shall we? Of course, Scunthorpe coming at you. Looking better, we go 30-5 for the victory, 23-10 is your draw, 21-20 is your Cheltenham. Cheltenham are flying high there in third. Win for them, they could go second. As for Scunthorpe, they're in 16th in the moment. I win for them, they could go as high as 14th in the table. Oh yes, brother. Going with a 1-1 draw, cannot separate the two sides. Next, of course, Southend with a big win last round up against Salford in the Battle of the Essex. Of course, played each other just the one time in recent time. That was, of course, back in October in Salford as a 3-0 win for Salford, of course. Heading into this, of course, the goal scorers were Harry Lennon with a big fat OG, Jason Demetriou with a big fat OG, and James Wilson as well. Heading into this, though, of course, what are we looking at? Salford, just one defeat the past 4 games. Of course, against Morecambe. Meanwhile, just one defeat the past 4 games for Southend. That was against Bolton. Heading into this, of course, look at the bookies odds on this one then, shall we? We've got Southend coming at you 10-3 for the victory. Salford are 5-4 on for the victory, 13-5 is your draw. Salford coming at you out on 8th. To win for them, they could go in 5th. As for Southend, they are in 22nd. They could close in on 21st with a W. Go on with on this one with a draw again. Southend to keep them moving the chains. Another point in the back. Keep on believing and wrap it up, baby. Them Vegans up against Colchester United, who are flying high. Last season in the playoffs, this season they are cruising for relegation. Goodness gracious me, I had the nightmare. Of course, played the last 6, 2 wins for the Vegans, 4 for Colchester, no draws. That's around at the Forest Green Rovers land. Of course, 1-0 win for Forest Green. Luke Prosser on the score sheet, giving them the win. It was a big fat OG. Of course, they played this season out Colchester when Colchester were on fire. 1-0 win for Colchester. Noah Chavelers on the score sheet. Heading into this, the Vegans just lost 1 to the past 6. Of course, that was against Southend just the other day. Meanwhile, without a win in 6 or more than that, Southend and Colchester look lost. Completely bloody lost, of course. Heading into this badge, of course, the bookies odds 65 on for the Vegans, 60-5 is your Colchester, 13-5. That's the draw. Colchester's down 21st, but a win for them, they could shoot themselves all the way up to 16th. As for the Vegans, of course, in second, a win for them, they could go top of the pops. Oh yeah, top of the pops. The Vegans will snatch this one with their plant-based T-bone steak and all the rest, indeed. Of course, if I'm right, which everybody will hope so, this is what the table will look like at the end of it. Of course, Cambridge will lead the charge, 55 points. The Vegans will be second. Morecambe, get in there, plug it in your veins, up to third as well. Cheltenham, Newport, Exeter and Tranmere are going into the playoffs. Look at Bolton, making a move. Of course, down the foot of the table, Grimsby and Barrow, they're going down, of course, to the National League Premier, for another season. Of course, that's what I think will happen. Be sure to get your picks in nice and early, and we'll do it all again next time around. Until then, though, be sure to give the video some love, smash that thumbs up, smash your subscribe, check out that links down below. I'm on Twitter, I'm on Facebook, and I'm on Patreon. If you want to support the channel in another way, that's the best place to do it. Until then, I'll see you all soon. Again, we'll be back on probably Sunday for the next round of matches. Until then, be safe.